has equal roots. When you have equal roots, it means your graph only touches the axis once. Okay? When it states that it has equal roots, it means that b squared minus 4ac has to equal 0. Everybody cool with that? What's our a value? 4, our b value? Okay, our c value? 9. This means k squared minus 4 times 4 times 9 is 0. K squared is 16 times 9, which is 144. Please check that. K squared equals 144. Values plural. So what does that mean? K is minus 12 and K is plus 12. Everybody happy enough with that? Who got that one out? Just one person. That one? Yeah. All right. Next one is you're doing the minus b formula again. B squared minus 4ac equals 0. Are you listening? Now, this question is slightly harder. What's the a value? The a value is 1. What's the c value? C value is what? Okay. Now what's the b value? Now, see the minus there? The minus causes hassle. So what I do is I'd multiply in the minus and I'd change it to this. I'd change it to minus 2k minus 2 inside a bracket and then the x behind it. So I'd actually rewrite the question like this. Is it the same? It is. I just multiplied in by the minus. So what's the b value? Minus 2k minus 2. I'm told they have equal roots. So what does that mean I'm allowed to do now? Huh? Equals 0. So minus 2k minus 2 squared minus 4 times 1 times 5k plus 1 equals 0. Square that out, you're going to get minus 2k minus 2 minus 2k minus 2. I'm going to do this really fast. 4k squared. That's 8k, double 8k, sorry, double 4k, and you get 8k in the middle. And then 4 at the end. That's just that part there. Everybody cool with that? Now what happens then? What's minus 4 times 5k plus 1? Minus 20k take away. 4 equals 0. Now what? 4k squared minus 12k equals 0. Now what? Now what, guys? 4k into k minus 3 equals 0. What does that mean? 4k equals 0 implies that k equals k minus 3 equals 0 implies k equals 3. You're done. Alright. Let's do another one because I see a few very confused people around the class. And I'll pause it. So, this question 7 differs from question 5 in the following regards. In question 5, it was equal roots. Everybody agree with that? And the answer was equal to 0. So we use b squared minus 4ac equal to 0. What's the difference with question 7? Real roots. What does real roots mean? B squared minus 4ac is bigger than or equal to 0. Does that make sense? Now, what's the a value for part 2? A value is b value, c value. Awesome. Plug it into the following equation. So blank squared minus 4 times blank times blank. Have I lost anybody so far? I hope not. Okay. Now, 2, what's it? 2 k, 2 minus k. 4 take away That's minus 4k times that is going to be minus 8k plus 4k squared, going to 0. Rearrange that so it's 4k squared minus 8k plus 4. I need to be able to guarantee that this is bigger than 0 for all values of k. Now, any square number is bigger than or equal to 0. Would everybody agree with that? What's 0 squared? 0. What's minus 1 squared? Any number is squared is bigger than 0. So here's what we need to do here. Factorize out the 4 and what we get left over. K squared minus 2k plus 1 greater than or equal to 0. What happens when you factorize out the quadratic? It's going to turn into k minus 1, which is what? A perfect square. 4 times a perfect square is bigger than or equal to 0 for any value you can think of. Does that make sense? 4 times anything squared is positive. Okay, let's move on. All right. What does it mean to say that it cannot have real roots? What's the criteria for having real roots? And your discriminant has to be bigger than or equal to. I have to prove that this cannot be bigger than or equal to 0. So that's my job. Okay, what's your A value? Your B value? Minus 2p. Your C value? Okay. B squared minus 4ac has to be bigger than or equal to 0. Okay, let's find out. Minus 2p squared minus 4 times 1 times 3p squared plus q squared greater than or equal to 0. Okay? Now what? Okay, what you get here? Minus 2p by minus 2p? Minus 4 multiplied by 3p squared? You again, yeah? And then finally minus 4 by q squared. Okay, but everybody agree it's minus 8p squared minus 4q squared. Yeah? And this is minus 8 multiplied by a guaranteed positive number. What do I mean by a guaranteed positive number? Anything squared is positive. Minus 4 times a guaranteed positive number. They're both going to be negative, aren't they? So it cannot be, it has to be less than or equal to 0. Sorry, it has to be less than or equal to 0, not greater than or equal to 0. Does that make sense? You all good with that? It can have equal roots though, couldn't it? Could it have equal roots? What happens if I set p equal to 0 and p equal to 0 and q equal to 0? What happened then? It would have equal roots, wouldn't it? So the question isn't that great designed, is it? It's not that well designed. So therefore I can have equal roots, but I can't have two distinctly different real roots. Somebody needs to rewrite that, okay? All right, guys, gotta leave this there. How would you do this one out of interest? B squared minus 4ac equals, and then find the k values. Is that okay? All right, so for work tonight, what we'll get is, yes, daily. Yeah. All right, Friday week, yeah? Because we're off this Friday. So, you guys are going to do question 6, 7, 8, 10. 6, 7, 8, 10, and 12. And in class today, I did 13, 7, 5, 7, and 13.